Hi everyone, it's Bob from Greybeard Models. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to be back. Right, so now we're going to look as you've seen from the title, we're going to carry on with the Stalwart. Um, it's going together really nicely, and we're heading towards the end of it now. So, without further ado, let's get over to the bench, and we'll see how we've got on. Right, so I've got sort of major parts of the cab in place. I've got the radio in. I've got the dials in. To do the dials, I don't know if I can get any closer. I think I'm going to lose the light really. So yeah, it's yeah, getting the dials. What I've done there is actually cut them individually, and then I've painted the knobs and switches. I didn't want to put them down as one big decal because I thought they're going to bounce all over the place and they're just going to come out of alignment. I hope you can see that. I really can't tell. Oh, I really can't tell if it's in focus, and that's because of my eyesight, I think. So I've got to, yeah. Anyway, right. In the meantime, instead of concentrating on the mesh, I've also been going ahead with the build. So we've now got all of, well, I don't know if you can see in there, but all the internals done in the cab, and the cab's on, and just putting the handles on, or foot pegs, whatever these things are, and little bits of doodadding on the front. So the next stage is to complete the two stacks at the back here, and then put the flooring in. Well, I was going to go through making the wire mesh from the mesh material that I had, and this sort of works, but having now got this this set from ITA3 from Inside the Armour, brilliant. Really think this is the way to go. So even though it was a damaged part, it didn't seem to come out very well. I cut that off of there, and I don't know whatever that they call this. Is it like a plate, a moulding plate, or whatever? Anyway, so I cut the part off of there, and this is the part from the kit with the exhaust pipes, and essentially that fits. Oh, get that on there, and that fits on there. It does the job. I personally, if I was going to be really picky about it, I'd say it's a little bit high, but apart from that, I think it's a really good fit. So I'm just going to give that a blast of paint, and then we'll fit that onto the kit and get the kit finished, because I think we're nearly there. Okay, so we've gone a little bit further on. In case you're wondering, the 3D mesh part is there. I've given that a coat of black paint, mainly because I'm gonna be weathering the whole thing, and as it's sort of you can sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's a mesh, and therefore you sort of, it'll affect what we see here in the exhaust. So I've got this end all done, the tail end done, the tools are in place, the cans, which aren't very good, they're in place, and so we've got everything there. So there's a couple of things I really wanted to talk about before I've carried on. First and foremost, the window surrounds. Airfix have done it so that you can fit the windows in from the outside, which is actually quite a cool thing. But the ridges inside that hold the windows in place, they need to be painted black. So let's just put that out of the way. So I've gone in and painted all the window surrounds black. And this is like a thing that car modelers do. And the same thing is with the actual glazing panels themselves. It's gone over the edge of them with a Sharpie pen just to tone the edges down, because the edges, if you look through them, you'll see a sort of silver effect, and you don't really want that. So blackening the edges makes them a hell of a lot better. And then when you put the actual parts, I'm not going to be able to pick up the right one, am I? I think whichever one it is. Yeah, so when you put that in there, you won't have a sort of a silver line inside the picture. As you can see, I've painted the indicators. So yeah, so I've got all of that done, and I was about to put the side panels on, and this panel that I've got here, that sort of sits on there. I've had to go over the edge of that again because it's still got a bit of a seam mark there, a bit of a shadow. So that goes on there, which is all cool. That sort of sits there. But in the kit, you've got this framework. Now, in the kit, the framework goes on like that and sort of sits on the corrugations like that. Now, I recall before I went any further on that, I thought I've seen pictures of that, and that's not where it is. And I've got one of my reference books, and I've got, let me just clear this out of the way, and I've got this. This is the Military Vehicles Archive, and this is all about Alvis military vehicles. And a section in it is about the Stalwart. Now, it's also got quite good pictures in it, and as you can see from this one, that bar is actually lower down, and I thought that can't be right. Maybe, I don't know, but this is the Mark II, the cargo variant, and as you can see, that bar is actually lower down. And then this Stalwart Mark II with the HIAB, that's going to be interesting. That's lower down as well. So it looks to me like Airfix haven't quite got it right, because there's another one there. That's a Mark I, so you could argue, well, maybe it's different. But not necessarily just relying on what the book says. There's another shot there of it, and it's actually lower down. I thought I'd go online and have a little look. So there's another picture there, and the bar's lower down, and that one there, the bar's lower down, and that one where it's in the water, and that's a Mark I, and that's lower down. So Mark I's, Mark II's, all of the pictures that I've got in this book, and these are photographs of actual vehicles from the time as well, which is why they're black and white, seems to show that that should be lower down. So I'm not entirely sure. I think I'll go with the photograph references that I've got and put those in the correct place on there. Also, these sections here, again with those pictures, there doesn't seem to be any pictures showing that additional piece of framework, piece of metalwork. They just seem to be, it's just a straight bar across. Same with that one. It's a straight bar across. And that one, it's a straight bar across. It's not as it is there. So I'm going to go off and modify that and get the sides on and get the windows in and get another step forward, and I think we'll call it a day. It's a day. Get some of this done, and I think when I come back it will be weathered and finished, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that's of interest to you and helps if you're building it, and see you on the next video. Bye for now.